Please come forward. Before we start the proceedings, I must thank the Delhi Police Band for the excellent music that they provided to us. And may I request the audience to give them a round of applause, please. I will now request our President, Mr. Chhibber, to kindly give them a token of our appreciation from the Delhi Gymkhana Club. Gentlemen, we'll start the proceedings now. First of all, my sincere thanks for all of you who've come here this evening to make this evening special for the policemen who are members of our Delhi Gymkhana Club. And I thought I'll just say a few words of introduction. And I want to begin with the fact that a couple of months ago, when the new committee came in here, things were of course going very well, and for the sports, the tennis, the squash, swimming pool, etc. But we had a look around and we thought that one sphere where we could really put in a little effort and improve it a little bit was the book club, erstwhile book club. So we enhanced the scope and made it into a knowledge club. And then we found that the quality of speakers that came here, the attendance rose dramatically and so on. And so we felt that we'd done something good. And the basic reason for that was that the membership of this club has a certain intellectual level. And there was this thing waiting to whet their appetite on knowledge. And you will be surprised that through the club life, as also individually on telephone calls and email, we started getting requests from outstation, Bombay, Calcutta, London, Canada, Australia, how much they were enjoying it, and therefore it was felt that we had to increase the scope. And here once again I must thank our President, Mr. Chibber, who decided that we will put this on the internet, on the YouTube. So you see this camera in front of you. In fact, you're on YouTube real time. And that has really brought the Gymkhana Club fraternity together, because no matter where they are in the world, they're actually connected with us. So therefore, having done that, now we felt that let us look in-house. And in-house again, we saw a tremendous pool of talent. We started with the Night of the Mountaineers, and again we got calls, please let us know well in time. People want to do their bookings by air, train and so on to get here in time to be part of the talk here. After that we had the Railway Night. We got the railway men, the members of the railways together, and we are fortunate that the Rail Minister came and gave us a present of the Fairy Queen, the famous railway engine that runs between this place and Alwar. Then we requested Ms. Meera Kumar to come. She's presented us with a copy of the Constitution of India, and so on. We've been progressing on those lines. And that is how we came across another segment which we call the Police Night. And this is really to put across to our club members the tremendous amount of work that the police is doing. And I say this with a very high degree of confidence because, for instance, when I was in command in Srinagar, I had 3 BSF battalions under my operational command. And I used to go and visit them. There's a picket called Patiala picket on the LOC. In winters, totally cut off. 18 to 20 men are just hovering around the stove in the center to keep themselves warm. The kind of difficulties they go through. In the east, we had some 2 to 3 CRPF battalions with us. Excellent performance. So I felt that we get a high level panel here today who can give you various facets of what the policemen are doing. The program for this evening will be as follows. We've got 4 very distinguished policemen here, police officers. I'll tell you the detailed program of that a little later. This will be from 7 to 8, little spillover. After that we'll have a 15 to 20 minutes break where you can pick up your drinks and come back here. And then we'll give you a musical bonanza. And in that, Ankita, the daughter of Mr. Neeraj Kumar, who's sitting here, will be playing the piano, accompanied by guitarist, flutist, tablawala, and surprise to you that the Commissioner Traffic, he is coming here and he'll be playing the flute. And I heard this day before yesterday. It is excellent, something worth hearing. Now this evening's program, we have a very high-powered panel here. Mr. Ved Marwaha, he will open the proceedings and tell us about the overall police forces and what they are doing, the kind of role they're performing and the difficulties that they're encountering. 10 minutes. Followed by Mr. Arun Bhagat. He'll be speaking to us about the Central Armed Police Forces. Now here we sent out a message saying that they are paramilitary. We received some kind of a feedback that there are only 2 paramilitary forces. One is the Assam Rifles and one is the Rashtriya Rifles. Whatever the nomenclature, the fact of the matter is that they are there and they're doing an excellent job, and Mr. Bhagat will give us a debrief on that. He'll be followed by Mr. K.K. Mitra, who will be talking to us about the intelligence part of the police forces. And then we've got Mr. Neeraj Kumar, who will be talking to us about the Delhi police and their performance and the difficulties that they face. Mr. Ved Marwaha, can I request you to come as the opening batsman and start the innings? Mr. Ved Marwaha.
And speak today, I immediately responded by making an excuse that now, I am getting on in years, so why don't you get some younger people? And promptly I was told that I'm not old. My age group with whom I was playing tennis are still playing tennis on the Delhi courts. So that tells you something about the Gymkhana Club community, which never grows old. I am grateful that he has invited me, and I am glad that I have come, because I think I should come here more frequently to get my morale high. Well, talking about the police, one would imagine that the role which the police has to perform, that is security of life and property of citizens and enforcement of the rule of law, because police is the only organization, government organization, which has legitimate power to use force. And it will be a very popular organization. But surprisingly, when you talk about the police, you think of all the negatives. And I think that is where it's important to analyze why this situation in our country. We have organized the police force on the pattern of what we call Bobby Police in London, Sir Robert Peel, and the 1861 Act was also at that time under which the police force was organized. But the police has taken a very different shape. The main reason for this is the lack of public cooperation. It is important to realize that police can never perform its effective role without active participation of the people. But here it is the reverse. Whatever the police does is wrong, whether it is the media or the general public reaction. Let me give you an example of what happened in London. I was posted in the High Commission there when one fine morning we had 4 boys brandishing pistols and they took everybody as a hostage. The police was informed and I must say that they came very promptly. There was some anti-crime mobile squad. They came and they confronted them and shot dead all the 4. Later on they discovered that all the 4 boys were carrying only toy pistols. Now I thought, what have these people done? I mean, they'll have hell to pay. But lo and behold, not a single newspaper had anything adverse to say about that police patrol party. And they had all-round support from the citizens of the country. Can you imagine such a situation happening in Delhi or any other part of the country? Here, hell will let loose, and police from bottom to top, they will all demand their suspension, their dismissal, and all sorts of things will come. Even they'll demand in Delhi they'll immediately demand the suspension and dismissal of the Commissioner of Police. You know, this is the situation. The second difficulty is the political interference. Now, of course, the ruling political parties should have a say in the police functioning. But here, when they want a say in police functioning, their interest is confined only to postings and transfers and promotions. They are not concerned with the resources which the police require, whether manpower, resources, equipment, training, which requires money. That they are not bothered. The role of the police is undergoing a change. And today, more policemen are getting killed in the line of their duty than in any part of the world. And yet, there is hardly any word of sympathy from an average citizen about what is happening. Only the other day I was talking to a senior person in the government, and he had no hesitation in saying, well, you can't complain about these policemen dying because after all they are paid for it. I couldn't imagine to hear that reaction. First of all, unlike in the army, the policeman doesn't join the police force to fight a battle and lose his life. And secondly, even if it was so, it is the attitude of people who are holding important functionaries in the government. This prevents the police from doing what they need to do. And here one should look at their working conditions and living conditions. And I mean, it is seen to be believed, some of you, not many of you could have gone to a police station, but you could sometimes visit there just for the sake of visiting and see what sort of a life they live. Their living conditions are simply terrible, but they don't complain, and their complaint is not taken any cognizance of it. The other point is, and that is linked to the political interference, is corruption. Now, police having so many legal powers to use force, obviously there is always a temptation to misuse if there is some sort of tacit support from the top. And that is happening today because in selections of senior officers, if person's reputation, his competence, his reputation for integrity are not considered, and you want to appoint people who are pliable, then there is a problem, because their priorities will be very, 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 very different. The third difficulty is the weakness in our criminal justice system. There is a police investigation is not the end of the case has to go to the court after the case is charge sheeted. But if you look at our judicial system, a case goes on and on and on, and the fear of legal punishment has almost vanished. In this situation, to expect the police to perform its role to the satisfaction of the average citizen becomes a little difficult. What do we need to do? Here the most important thing is, and we talk about police reform, criminal justice system reform, and I have been hearing about this from the day I joined the service, and that was a long time ago, but nothing has happened. Why nothing has happened? Because there is a vested interest in not doing what needs to be done. And I think the second or the third important reason is the plethora of laws which the police is expected to enforce. Again, when I joined the service, all the so-called minor laws, that is in addition to the three major laws, IPC, CRPC and Evidence Act, were all in one small booklet. But today, you will need those laws where offences have been made cognizable, where the police responsibility has been given to the police, have multiplied. And as a matter of fact, most of the police officers, even the senior police officers, won't be able to say how many laws they are supposed to enforce. Now, there is no proportionate increase in their resources, manpower or equipment. Now, in this situation, I think something concrete needs to be done, because the police role is a very important role, and the average citizen's security should be the primary task of the government. But successive governments and all political parties, including the present one, so far has given no evidence that they are serious in tackling these fundamental problems which the police forces facing. Notwithstanding all these difficulties, I think the police force all over the country and in the metropolitan cities is doing, I should say, a job which compares favorably with the best police forces in the world. If in city of Delhi today, even after sunset, if that sense of insecurity is not there, which we see in some of our neighboring countries, I think the credit should go to the police force. In the rural areas again, if you see the peace which prevails in spite of all sorts of rural problems, again the credit goes to the very small party of the police force. And I hope the government, which says it's very serious about internal security, there is a press conference only today by the Union Home Minister. I hope he will give some attention to police reforms and judicial criminal justice system reform. With these few words, I will thank the chairman for giving me this opportunity to share some